You're tuned into the VSX Digital Sports Network.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Get ready.
More fire, more heat.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket. Always spitting that explosive fire. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that green.
That's right, Las Vegas and all my sports bettors around the world. It's time to grab your bankroll and beat the line. You're rocking with the boss of the big board, JB the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express, live from the VSX Digital Studios here in Las Vegas. I'm your host, the boss of the big board, JB the Ticket. Follow me on Instagram at JB the Ticket. Follow the show on Twitter at We Beat the Line. Talking this Major League Baseball season. Opening day is a few days away, and here to talk the grease with me, my main man Scotty. Beam him up Webb from the East Coast. Sports investors and MLBDaily.com. Scotty, how you doing today?
Hey, JB, I am doing excellent, and I can't wait for this season to get started. Seems like spring training takes forever.
Spring training takes forever, and again, you can watch all of these games on a FUBO TV. Go to VegasScoreboardExpress.com, click the live TV link, and don't get cabled, get FUBO TV. Only $65 a month. That's going to be able to keep cash in your pocket. No credit check, no deposit, and if you win, pay for your subscription. $65. Don't get cabled, get FUBO TV. So again, Scotty, here to talk this Major League Baseball season. Very excited for it. It's back. Fans are back. Stadiums are supposed to be open. It's going to be a big year for Major League Baseball, full season, and I am excited to get into it. The first full season of baseball on VSX Digital Sports Networks. Going to be launching that on the opening day of baseball season. Can't wait for it. So without further ado, Scotty, let's go ahead and jump into it. Going to be talking about these odds to win the 2021 Major League Baseball division pennants. Starting off with the American League East, my hometown team, the New York Yankees, minus 200 to win the division. What say you, Scotty? How can we get this money? Go ahead.
Well, the New York Yankees are rightfully so the number one team in the American League East. And in fact, the Yankees should be, in most people's mind, the number one team in the entire American League. In the American League East, they have three players. They have Aaron Judge, DJ LeMahieu, and Gleyber Torres, who are one of the three best players of all six. If you look at the top six guys in the American League East, but they can pitch. They have guys like Garrett Cole, who's the best pitcher. Probably the second best pitcher, maybe the first best pitcher in all of the American League. And then they brought in Corey Kluber, who is a guy who's a perennial Cy Young contender when he was with the Indians before he got hurt there. And I suspect he's going to have a great season. So I don't think there's any reason to think that the New York Yankees won't be the team to beat in the American League East, let alone the entire American League. The question becomes is if it's a legitimately good play to bet a favorite like that. But if you're going to do that, I would say that the Yankees and the Dodgers probably would cover those numbers. So I think that you're probably fairly safe.
Minus 200 New York Yankees. If you're a Yankees betting fan, I know you're going to get across the turnpike in New Jersey and drop a paycheck. So again, talking about another American League East team up in the sixth, the Toronto Blue Jays, plus 400. Now, again, this is a perennial doormat in the American League East. Sorry to do it to you, Drake. Again, shout out to Drake. That's Scary Hours number 2. Fire tracks, man. That lemon pepper freestyle had me rocking, but I'm telling you right now, Toronto Blue Jays plus 400. Is this a bet you can get some money on? Go ahead.
Yeah, the Blue Jays are a team on the come. They are a team that has the position players in line, and they're all youthful for the most part, surrounded by a couple of guys that are the veterans. They have guys like Bo Bichette. They have guys like Kevin Biggio and Vladimir Guerrero, who are all going to be superstar players. And then they brought in George Springer this year from Houston. That's a pretty dynamic offense. their issue in terms of competing for the division is going to be pitching. They have Hyun-Jin Ryu, who's their best pitcher, but he's not really what I would say is an ace pitcher who's a dominant thrower. He requires the defense to play behind him and make the plays to get the out. But then they start matching up with guys like Robbie Ray and Tanner Roark, Ross Stripling, and those kind of guys. And they're just not the same kind of caliber of pitching that you need to win a division.
Plus 400 sounds like a dog that could get fleas. Moving on to your hometown, Tampa Bay Rays. Tampa Bay last year represented the American League in the World Series. Plus 450. Does it look like this is a chance for a team to come out of Tampa with a repeat? Can they win the division? Plus 450. Doesn't sound like the sports book has given them a lot of grease, but go ahead there, Scotty. Tampa Bay Rays, your hometown team, plus 450. Is it worth the drive to Biloxi to make the bet? Go ahead.
No, I wouldn't do that. I don't think I would go anywhere to make the bet for them to win the division. They have the second best pitcher in the American League East with Tyler Glasnow, but they lost Charlie Morton and Blake Snell, who was what made their team so good last season. They don't have any dynamic hitters. Their best player is Brandon Lowe, and then should expect to see Randy Arozarena, who was the star of the World Series in the playoffs last year. He should be in a regression spot, and he won't play as well as he did a year ago. This is a team that has Wander Franco, who is the number one prospect in all of baseball, but they won't have him up there until probably May or June. And then they've got Luis Patino in the trade for Blake Snell, and he's a quality throwing pitcher, but he has a lot to do yet because he's very young. So this team is going to rebound, but they probably won't rebound until 2022 or 2023. That's when this team will be good again.
Sounds like that plus 450 is a bet that you don't want to take. Again, you can watch these games on the FUBO TV. Get 7 days free at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Coming up, the guys who beat the curse, the Boston Red Sox, plus 2,000. Looks like it's a long dog that JB might want to put some cash on. That's a big bet. I've been hearing a lot of good things about this team. Watching some of the preseason baseball, they're looking sharp. Go ahead.
Yeah, Boston Red Sox are a team that last season you saw them finish dead last in the American League East, and that's a big thing when you consider that they're a perennial power and that the Baltimore Orioles finished ahead of them last season. That's even more amazing in my mind. But they threw 16 starting pitchers last year, and that was their big issue. They couldn't get guys to stay in the starting rotation. This year, you won't see that as so much of a problem. They get Nathan Eovaldi back. He's going to be the leader on their starting pitching staff. But Eduardo Rodriguez, who was their ace pitcher 2 years ago, he won 19 games, sat out last year due to the COVID thing. He's back, and he's going to pitch this season. Chris Sale comes back at the middle of the season. They have Nick Pivetta, who's going to be the fifth starter. So they're not going to throw 16 different guys at the start of the season this year like they did last year. Plus, they have Joey Cora back as the manager. I suspect that this team is going to be very competitive, and I suspect they're going to be an over 500 team, which then puts them in line for one of my favorite season win totals at over 80.5. That's one of my favorite ones, over 80.5 for the Red Sox.
Boston Red Sox over 80.5. Scotty, beam 'em up. Webb tells you, I'm telling you, take that long dog for the division, plus 2,000. Rounding out the perennial bird of the division. These guys just can't seem to get it together ever. The Baltimore Orioles, plus 6,600. Sucker bet? Or is this a team that has a chance to maybe squeak out a short win for you? Go ahead.
Yeah, keep your money in your pocket betting on the Orioles here. These are a team that is not ready to compete at the level that's necessary to win a division. They are a team that's getting better, but they are certainly not a team that's going to go battle neck and neck with the Yankees. You got to remember, last year they only played 60 games. This year they're going to play 162 games. So within the division, they got to play the Yankees 19 times, the Rays 19 times, the Red Sox 19 times. So these are situations that are not very good for the Baltimore Orioles. And in those 50, I think it's like 54 games or whatever it is, they should not be even 500 in those games. They should be well below that. So it's going to be hard for them to be a competitive team against those big favorites that they have to play every week.
Get the money. You're listening to the boss of the big four, JP the Tech Guy. Giving you that breeze.
Cable bill got you down? Don't get cabled. Get FUBO TV. Only $65 a month. Go to VegasScoreboardExpress.com and watch baseball this weekend absolutely free. Don't get cabled. Get FUBO TV.